I begin as always in the name of Jesus. This video is going to be doing a review of The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 5, Self-Help. Okay, so this episode opens up with Abraham, Ford, Eugene Porter, Rosita Espinosa, Glenn, and Maggie riding on a bus all the way to DC. And while on the way there, we have a little chit chat between Rosita and Abe. That was nice. It was great to see Rosita get a little chit chat, and then a little bit of dialogue. And and Maggie and Glenn kind of asked about the mullet and probably about DC. When all of a sudden, the car kind of knocks over, and they are upside, and it rolls over and sideways as there is a herd coming by. And meanwhile, we go to the and walkers surround it. We go to the opening credits. We go back, and the group gets out. They kill all the walkers, and they start walking there. In the meantime, and they get to a bookstore. They kind of make it their home, and then there we see a very very awkward sex scene between Abraham and Rosita. It was not very fun. Before I go further, I need to do that. There are some flashbacks throughout the episode, and the first flashback is Abraham as he has killed like two or three men in a grocery store. And then we go back there. And then after that, then the second flashback, no wait, we got to go back there. And then meanwhile, Eugene and Tara have some interaction, and they just talk about self-help. I don't know. And also Eugene says he put some light bulbs in the engine or something, and that's what caused the bus to go haywire. And then it's like, and then Tara decides to keep the secret for him or something. And then after that, Glenn and Maggie are having some chit chat together. By the way, I need to say I really love Glenn and Maggie's relationship. It's cool stuff. Next, and then I also like the interaction between Glenn and Abraham. It's good. And then in the morning they go over to a fire station. They find a fire truck that they can help, and then they encounter some walkers who attack them, and then Eugene starts to kill them all using a water hose, and then they use the fire truck to drive up. In the meantime, as they're driving, and then it kind of breaks down again, and then Abraham has to fix it while they're all watching for walkers. Eugene and Maggie have some interaction, and it was pretty nice. So they decide to go up walking. By the way, there are two flashbacks, and here's what it is. Abraham finds his family, his wife and his two children, and they are terrified of what he did. And so they run. For their life. Run from him. And then run from him. Terrified of what he had of him. And then after that, and then in the second one, and then in the present day, there is they keep on walking up the highway, and they find walkers. They see a herd of walkers there. It's like, and then it's like, there's a big, Abraham says they all need to plow through it. They don't want to, and then it all escalates into a fight between Abraham and Glenn, and then until Eugene speaks out that he's lying. He says that he's flat out lied about the whole thing, and that he felt like, and then they said Rosita is like, Eugene said that a lot of people died on the way, implying that there was a huge group of these people, and then all of them died before those three were left. And then last but not least, Abraham's sad about it, and then that causes him to punch him twice, hard, and then he goes off, and then he gets down on his knees and starts to sob. And then we see the last flashback where he sees the next morning, he sees his son, his wife, and his daughter all dead. He's about to kill himself when he sees Eugene running from his life. This is a flashback, by the way, and he kills them. And he kills the walkers, and then he decides to go back, and then Eugene tells him he has a mission. So now it all fits. It's like pretty emotional and sad stuff for Abe. So we can now understand why he was so sobbing and why he punched Eugene so badly. So this was a very emotional and deep and profound episode. It kind of uneventful and dragged a little bit, but the ending basically salvaged the whole episode and made it all worth it. All of it. So I will have to give this thing either an 8.8 or 8.9 out of 10. I'm going to probably settle with an 8.9 out of 10. It was a little uneventful. Again, it was a little uneventful, but it was worth it at the end. So in the end, I'll have to say it was a very profound and good episode. Alright, I can't wait for next week's episode to come.